Mic check 1 2. Okay, mic check 1 2. Not good. You're good. Yeah, I'm doing mic check. Okay, mic check 1 2. 1 2 3 4 5. Mic check. Mic check. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, yeah. Mic check 1 2. 1 2. Mic check 1 2. 1 2 3 4.
Thank you.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. To my friends, neighbors, fellow taxpayers, thank you all for joining us this afternoon. We've come together because property taxes remain one of the biggest burdens on Texas families. They hit our homeowners, our seniors on fixed incomes, our farmers, ranchers, and small businesses the hardest. But today, I want to take a moment to shine a light on real leadership that's fighting back and winning for all of us Texan taxpayers. And that's Governor Greg Abbott. I want to extend a heartfelt thanks for having us here this afternoon, and more importantly, leading the charge to put real power back to the taxpayer. He's made it crystal clear. No property tax increase should ever take effect without people having the final say. His bold 5-point plan to overhaul our property tax system includes a game-changing requirement. That's a state-mandated voter approval for all local tax hikes. That's not just talk. This is the kind of reform that empowers us, everyday Texans, to stop runaway local spending. And that's exactly what I've done over the past 2 years in the district that I represent just 10 miles east of here, is push back on local tax hikes. Over the past 2 budget cycles, I've pushed back on the city of Smithville, the city of Elgin, and the city of Giddings, having a 100% success rate on all 3. And what we did is we empowered the local folks, made them aware, got them together, they showed up, they spoke out, and they delivered real results. It's powerful when the folks show up and push back. And with Governor Abbott's plan, we're doing that. We're scaling that up statewide, and I appreciate that, Governor Abbott. God bless you all. God bless Texas, and through you, may he continue to bless our great state.
Well, good afternoon, y'all. I am State Representative Caroline Harris-Davila, and I'm blessed by the Lord to represent House District 52, which is not too far from here, maybe 10, 15 minutes north of here. And I also want to extend my thanks to Governor Abbott and so many in our state who have taken the concerns of our constituents, of y'all, and brought them to the forefront and are fighting this good fight, not only to preserve your taxpayer dollars, your hard-earned taxpayer dollars, I might add, but also to make sure that no Texan is taxed out of their home. That's one of the things I first heard of when I was knocking on doors, running for election as a member of the House, and it's something that I've always fought for. But again, you can only get so far until you have someone like Governor Greg Abbott willing to step out and fight this fight. So thank you all so much for being here. God bless y'all. God bless Texas, and God bless Governor Abbott.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Genevieve Collins, and I'm the Texas Director of Americans for Prosperity, the largest policy and grassroots organization here in the state. We are working alongside Governor Abbott to champion, and more like a crusade, on property tax reform because this is incredibly necessary. We believe that there needs to be transparency and truth in how we're taxed. So we're here in the beautiful town of Manor, and on one of these posters, you'll see a giant poster board that says local debt. You can go to that. It'll go to that QR code. It'll take you to the Texas Bond Review Board. You can actually go and look at your city's debt. I did that for where we are today. Right now, Manor has $179 million in debt, and over half of that debt is in non-voter approved debt. We're here because we believe that local elected officials, there are some here, and we are so grateful that you guys are here. We believe that local elected officials need to be accountable and responsible in how they talk about our property taxes. Just in doing some quick math, if you add the city, Manor City, plus Travis County, plus Manor ISD's debt, what that actually adds up to is that every Manor resident is paying $20,000 in debt going towards your property tax increases. This is a problem that needs to be addressed, and this is not just a Manor problem. This is a problem that's happening to citizens all around the state, and the governor's bold plan is to ensure that real taxpayers get real reform and real relief in their pocketbooks. You can visit our, if you can sign our petition that says that you agree with the governor's plan, because these state reps need your bold action as well. But one thing we're excited to announce today alongside the governor is that local elected officials are stepping up. And we are proud to announce that the Lone Star Property Tax Reform Council is launching as of today. We have a number of local elected officials that support this plan, and we're going to be adding more across the state to ensure that it's not just the state reps, but that local elected officials can work in collaboration with businesses and with state reps to make sure your voices are heard and your tax dollars are spent well. Governor, the floor is yours.
Howdy, Manor. Howdy again. This is a great afternoon. Let's everybody say howdy. Howdy. There we go. That's a Texas-sized howdy right there. Listen, I want to thank Stan. I want to thank Caroline. I want to thank Genevieve for stepping up and being part of this process, addressing one of the most pressing issues that we have in the state of Texas that we have to get done. And listen, they've all talked about property tax reform. I want to talk about one other thing in addition to that. One other thing that's causing a rise in the cost of living that we must end this next session. And that's the skyrocketing cost of insurance. Whether you're a homeowner, whether you're a homeowner, a small business owner, an auto owner, the fact of the matter is your insurance is going through the roof. One thing, you know, if you hear people on TV talking about the cost of living going up or like the CPI, it goes up 2 or 3% a year. Your insurance is going up 50% a year, 100% a year. And it has to come to an end. When we go back next session, we must slash your insurance cost in the state of Texas. Another thing that we will do, just as these other speakers have talked about, another thing we will do to ensure everybody in this room, everybody in the state of Texas is going to be able to afford to stay in their home forever, and that is to drive a stake through the heart of property taxes in Texas. Now, let me tell you what we just did, and then let me tell you why it's not enough, why we need to do more. What we just did this past year, we increased your homestead exemption a lot. Your homestead exemption is the amount of your home property that you don't have to pay school district taxes on. Instead of you paying for that, the state of Texas will pay for that. When I became governor, your homestead exemption was $15,000, which is nice, but on your home, about the size of your front porch and not a whole lot more. The fact of the matter is you needed more relief, and after what we did last year, your homestead exemption is now the first $140,000 of your homestead you do not pay school district property taxes on. Well, that's nice applause, but the fact of the matter is this, and that is exactly 0 Texans have come up to me and said, Governor, I'm perfectly happy with my property tax bill, because no one is. And let me tell you why. That's because even though your homestead exemption has increased, what you find is that those who impose property taxes raise it more, your appraisals raise it more, different things like that. So I've been crisscrossing the state of Texas. I've talked to tens of thousands of Texans from Central Texas to North Texas to South Texas, and I put together this plan right here that's going to turn into law that will deliver lasting property tax relief. Let me explain it real quick. Number one is what Stan was talking about, what Genevieve was talking about. And that is the reality is the thing that causes your property taxes to go up is because the entities that impose the property tax, they spend more of your money. And you have to live within your budget. This small business has to live within its budget. Those who impose property taxes, they must live within tighter budgets themselves. And so we must pass a law that constrains the ability of property taxing jurisdictions from increasing spending that would raise your property taxes. Number two, and that is, you don't really have a say in the property tax increases that you pay for. Let me ask you this. How many people here have a loan? Could be more. How many people here have a credit card? How would you feel if suddenly you had $10,000 more added to your credit card without you having a say in it? Or $10,000 more added to your loan without you having a say in it? Well, here's the deal. That should happen no more. And the way we eliminate that is, for one, require every property tax increase to be voted on by you and require 2/3 voter approval before any property tax increase goes into effect. Another reason why your property taxes go up so much is because of skyrocketing appraisals. I've had elderly women walk up to me and hand me an envelope that has their appraisal in it, afraid to open it because they know when they open up that envelope, they may no longer be able to live in their home. And there's a reason why it's going up the way that it is. By current Texas law, your appraisal can go up 10% a year. Easy math shows that it's going to price you out of your home. Before long, that has to change. And the way we change that is by reducing that appraisal from 10% a year to no more than just 3% a year or less. The other thing is, you should not have to be going through this home appraisal process for your property taxes every single year, having to fight it every single year. We must change that to have your home appraised for property tax purposes only once every 5 years. So listen, if that's all that we did, that would dramatically reduce and contain your property taxes and make it far more affordable. But I want to add this one last item, and that is, it goes to the heart of the largest part of your property tax bill, and that is the amount that goes to pay your local school district. It's called the school district property tax. And I say that your home should not be the piggy bank that's rated to pay for public schools. Instead, the state of Texas should fully fund public education, not your homestead. Now, let's go back to what Genevieve was talking about. She was talking about the importance of getting local officials and local residents involved in this process. There's a reason why you're here. Far more important than just listening to us. Speeches don't cut property taxes. Votes cut property taxes. And here's what we need. We need you to vote for legislators who will actually cut your property taxes. This property tax package will slash your property taxes by more than half and keep them down forever for the remainder of your time in your home. But we need you to make sure your voice is heard, not just in these halls, but in the halls of the Texas Capitol, to ensure we're able to deliver on this. And get this, when we slash your insurance cost, when we slash your property tax costs, and when we do help out like what we did with this small business where we increased their property tax exemption on this business from $2,500 to $125,000 exemption, Texas will quickly become one of the most, if not the most, affordable state in the United States of America. And you know what happened? Well, yeah. Hold on, dear friend, hold on. Because as you know, as you have seen, that's a double-edged sword. Because when Texas is the most affordable state, everybody else in the country is going to realize it. But listen, hold on. There's a reason why I'm your governor, because I've thought about that already. And here's my promise to you. When we slash your insurance costs, when we lower the cost of living, when we slash your property taxes, I'm going to stop building that border wall on the southern border, and we're going to build that border wall on the northern border, on the eastern border, on the western border. Stop all those invaders from coming into Texas. But listen, there's one. Let me tell you something. There's two last pieces of business I need to take care of. One is I want to, in front of you, sign this pledge showing my commitment to you, to the public, and put ink to it, to my commitment to fighting for you for this all the way through the session. Then second, I'm going to take a picture with everybody here who wants a picture. But before I do that, if you give me just a couple of minutes to answer questions, there's a certain number of media here. I'll take their questions. Then if you have one of me, I'll talk to you privately. But first, let me sign this. Let's get it done. For our media members, any questions? Sure. Happy to answer your question. However, let me first take on-topic questions. I'll come back to you after that. Anybody? Go ahead.
Governor, you put out a list, I think today, of 72 House members that support the legislation. First of all, are there any senators that have signed on or signaled support yet? And also, what do you have to say to the holdouts right now in the House?
So, listen, we have great momentum. We're adding more House members every day. I feel very confident. We're going to get over 76. As you know the math, if you get 76, that's a majority in the Texas House, and you get it passed. So feel very confident we will get there. Know this also, however, some of this, like in the past, may require a constitutional amendment. That's going to require not just every Republican House member, but also some Democrat House members. I defy any Democrat or any Republican to come out against my law that will slash property taxes and look their fellow Texans in the eye and say they are not going to adopt Abbott's plan to reduce and slash property taxes in Texas.
And what about the senators? Have any senators signaled?
Haven't heard about that yet. We'll get to them after we get to the House.
Governor, oil and gas are a big part of state revenue. Do you have any concern with the industry, given what we're seeing right now with the conflict with Iran, and could how that plays out affect the feasibility of your property tax plan?
Nice way to kind of curve that back into an on-topic question. You say with what's going on, do you mean the war or something else?
With the oil and gas industry we're seeing with the markets, and then, because I know it's a big part of state revenue, could that potentially affect your property tax plan and what you're able to do with property tax?
Not at all. I'll talk to members of the oil and gas sector yesterday, talking about what was going on internationally, and they were very reassuring about where we are. In fact, I mean, they're doubling down. The reality is Texas has such a large surplus of oil and gas, both underground and overground. For one, we got plenty of supply for the America markets, and we have abundant resources to be able to drill, baby, drill for decades to come. There's no concern about the oil and gas industry in the state of Texas whatsoever.
Two more questions. Governor, just building off of the House members that Dan Patrick said, obviously you need 76 members to win their elections who agree with this. I believe I saw an analysis that saw that 77 House districts had more Democratic ballots cast in the primary than Republican. Are you concerned about that number at all and about being able to secure a red Texas in this midterm election?
Yeah. What was your question? You ask it first, you get it first. Listen, I'm not concerned at all. And let me tell you why. And that's because what happened in the primaries was party versus party candidates. And there's been no showing and no clarity about the vast difference between Republican candidates and Democrat candidates. As you have surely observed, everybody in this room has observed, Tallarico has come across very different over the past couple of days than it came across during the course of the primary campaign. This is a candidate who truly was not vetted, and the ugly reality of what he stands for, what he believes in, is horrific. However, what you've seen on social media are just his own social media posts. Just wait until Texans learn about his votes in the past. Speaking of property taxes, Tallarico voted against our attempt and our focus on cutting property taxes. Tallarico voted in favor of a state income tax. Tallarico was for boys and girls sports, for defunding the police, for open borders. Tallarico is against what Texans stand for. He and the rest of the slate are going to be annihilated in the upcoming election.
One more question. Governor, have you been monitoring the situation or reports that Corpus Christi may be entering a water emergency, and what are your thoughts on that?
So listen, we've been doing more than monitoring it. We've been actively involved in it, going back a long time. Know this, and as we saw in advance, we were actually working with Corpus Christi in advance. We provided them with $750 million, $750 million in funding for them to address their water problem. You know what they did? They squandered it, and then they changed their plan, and then they were indecisive about what to do. Corpus Christi is a victim not because of lack of water. They're a victim because of a lack of ability to make a decision. What Corpus Christi leaders have to do is make a decision. We can only give them a little time more before the state of Texas has to take over and micromanage that city and run that city to make sure that every resident who goes to the water tap and turns it on, they're going to be getting water out of their faucet. Not because of what local leaders are doing, but because of what the state of Texas will do. We're fully committed to making sure that Corpus Christi residents are going to have the water they need to live their lives like the rest of the people in the state of Texas.